Well, I picked up this Bear Gerber's fire starter, made in China. What else is new, right? With probably a much better quality than a Wally World, no name fire starter I tried out a couple weeks ago that doesn't work right. Actually, the fire starter isn't that bad, but the magnesium bar is probably 50% aluminum. Now, this is like a waterproof design. Actually, I don't even know why you need this to be waterproof because I think that's a mark because the fire starter itself, the steel and the flint, the striking thing, the thing you strike it with, they're not going to get screwed up by water. I guess the real advantage is this, though, that it locks together so you don't lose them. And it's through the paracord. It's through a paracord, and you also got a whistle on here, which works more or less, right? Wow, isn't that cute? Scares the cats too, right? But I tried this out. It actually does make some pretty good sparks. On a cap, it works. It works. I mean, wish it was made in USA, but it works. Now on a cap, here's where you can keep your tinder. They had like one cotton ball in it, and you just pull it out. I put a bunch of cotton balls in it. You could smash probably about 5 or 6 cotton balls in here total, and the cap stays on there fairly tight. I would say, the thing is, people talking about the tinder being, not wet and all this kind of garbage. Well, if you got a knife, you just shave off the inside of some wood, after you get past the bark. The tree isn't going to be saturated all the way through. I mean, it could be part way through. We just keep cutting. And then you got dry wood. Right? It's that simple. And normally you put a little Vaseline on these, but it's good enough. I'm not sure if this would light. This is one of these things that hang off the mossy oaks. And well, let's see what happens here. Well, here's another cotton ball. I'm going to tell you right now, I was just messing around with this thing for a while. This is actually the last clip I did on this video, but I've been thinking about this thing. This thing is bullshit. I just get a USA fire starter. I get a Ziploc plastic bag, with the seal that slides across the top. You could put 100 cotton balls in it instead of this thing. You can lose this thing because if you pull this, I mean, yeah, it's not that easy to pull off, but it's going to start getting loose after a while. You could lose this thing, and I don't think. And the thing you don't want to lose is the fire starter itself. This. You don't care about losing this. To me, I don't know. I'm not too keen on it. And I would use a piece of hacksaw blade. Stick it in your knife sheath or something. Get a USA fire steel. Put a bunch of cotton balls, like 100 of them, in a Ziploc bag. It slides across the top. Maybe do 2 Ziploc bags. Ain't gonna weigh nothing. And maybe a couple pieces of hacksaw blade. So the hacksaw blade works better than a knife. There we go. See that? Good to go. I mean, so, that could be a piece of tree bark or something, birch bark instead of a piece of freaking cardboard. But whatever. You could take some cardboard with you and throw it in your freaking, what you call it, with your cotton balls. Just the outer layer of it. So, I'm going to tell you, buy USA. Okay? So anyway, here's the cheap one. The cheap one. The striker actually not that great. Not that great. The striker's not as good as the Bear Grylls Gerber, whatever the hell it is. There it goes. That won't light too easy though. That's the thing. This one, if I don't use this striker and I use the other striker with the like the hacksaw blade on it, whatever you want to call it, the file, whatever it is. You could smell the smoke. It's not too bad. Actually, I'm going to try this test again on this worthless freaking magnesium bar, and try to really scrape off a bunch and see what happens if I can light maybe that. And because this stuff I think is aluminum, but then again, I think it's got some magnesium in it, and maybe if you scrape off a whole pile, it might be somewhat useful if you use like a big knife. I'll try that out right now. Well, how's that for a big knife? That's a S-Wing camp axe. We'll try that out. It's brand new, so find out what the hell happens here. See if this can scrape off. Oh, it scratched the clear coat. Oh, wow. Well, the magnesium bar in here is basically a joke. The only thing it's good for is a handle for holding the fire starter. That's about it. And I don't know. Let's see what happens here. I'm going to use the cheaper fire starter. Yeah, that magnesium won't light for crap. Garbage. So, I'll tell you one thing though, what I've already just figured out. Instead of buying all this Chinese stuff, you're better off doing this, and it's just mechanical sense. Like it's being a DIY mechanic guy versus this kind of shit, but same kind of deal. Yeah, that magnesium doesn't light for shit. That's garbage. What I would do is I get an American-made fire steel, and then for the striker, I just use an old hacksaw blade, because this serrated edge on this hacksaw blade is a lot better than a knife side. It's like you're taking off. Maybe you're wearing this down faster, but so what? It throws out a hell of a lot more sparks. Even a cheap one works pretty good. It's not too bad. Look at it. So if I ever wear these things out, which I don't think it's going to take a long ass time, because I plan to start a lot of fires with this thing. This is obvious. Well, that's because the magnesium's not taking off. This is garbage. But, you know, what I'd have to do was either use a cotton ball or really like shred this up really small, and that would get it going. Or take a cup of gas out of the Jeep, just pour it on there, get a spark, and you're flying, man. You're going good. You know, if you got your Jeep with you, just take your Suzuki Samurai SJ413, same deal. So, but I would actually, you know, now that I think about it, in retrospect, what I would recommend people do is not buy any of these. I mean, they work, except for this magnesium bar. Not buying these made in China products. I go to some website, someplace, and find a made in USA fire steel, and keep a piece of old hacksaw blade on you. That does definitely work better than a knife. This serrated edge throws out a lot more sparks, and you know, you can keep that piece of hacksaw blade in your knife shield or sheath or something too. This striker is okay, but the hacksaw blade would work better than this. Once you get the damn thing off of here. Yeah, there it goes. Once you get the black stuff off of there. But obviously this works better than the striker that comes with the Grylls Gerbers. It's like just a hacksaw blade thing. See? Here. throws the sparks right in there. And that stuff's half aluminum, so it don't light. So, rather than supporting made in China bullshit, I'll give them credit when their credit's due, but most of the time credit is not due to them. It's just some corporate yo-yo in a suit over here in the United States just making a bunch of money off of BS. And I know on the internet they got a lot of reviews on this thing. But like I said, why do you need to freaking have the steel waterproof? What, are you kidding me? How's that? What's it do? Get saturated with water through and through and it don't light? Bullshit. Bullshit. I mean, I could stick this in water right now, pull it out, wipe it off on my shirt, and freaking's gonna work, man. You know, with a freaking hacksaw blade. Stupid bullshit. So, am I trying to freaking sell you something here? I'm telling you to go buy USA. Buy USA Firestarter. This Gerber's thing works okay, but I'd buy USA one. Take an old, used, half worn out hacksaw blade with you, a piece of one. That's all you need. And make sure you get some USA magnesium if you're going to freaking use the stuff, because the stuff that's made in China is half aluminum. So there you go. There's my review, unbiased, all the way. What the hell can I tell you, right? I'm not trying to steer anybody wrong here, giving you 100% honest truth.